Hey friends, it's Roger coming at you from the bunker. It's December 22nd as we are recording and posting this, and I have a weird question for you. We have something to talk about today that it's probably a little gross to start out with, but I promise you it'll help you understand something that I think is going to be a major key for you in not only having a great holiday season, Christmas and New Year's, and any other holiday that you celebrate at this time of year, and then moving into a new year in the best and cleanest way possible. So yeah, a little gross at first, but stick with me for a few minutes. Let's go. All right, so here's my weird question for you. Have you ever had to puke? I know it's not fun to talk about, but I'm not actually talking figuratively yet. I'm talking about literally. Like, think back to a time where you had to puke. Because you ate something bad or you had stomach flu or whatever. Like, if you can recall any of those times, you'll probably recall that there's both a downside and there's an upside to having to lose your lunch. The downside, obviously, is that if you're in that place, you don't feel very good because there's something wrong with you. And then, right, the act and the process of purging, like in that way, it's unpleasant and it's kind of gross. Like, I understand there's definite downsides to needing to puke, but there's a very clear upside that I want to help you harness now and going forward. The upside is, if you have to puke, once you do get rid of that stuff, once you get on the outside of whatever it was that was causing you to feel sick, guess what? 99 times out of 100, you feel better pretty much right away, and then you can begin recovery, right? Like, you can go back to sleep, you can start feeling better both immediately and long term. Why am I talking about barfing here? Well, it's because here we are. There's 9 days left in the year, and you're hanging out with me talking about how to finish this year, start next year, and just have an awesome business and results and life all at the same time. And it's important to reflect on this year. If you've been paying attention to me, you've heard me talk about how there's these categories of people that we work with. Some of you have cruised through, I don't want to say cruised. Some of you are sitting on great results. A lot of my clients, as you know, are looking at this and going, yeah, man, I'm feeling really, really good about my results. I've had my best year ever, or I've come through, pretty strong. Some of you are like busting it to get to the end of the year because you got to finish up some things. And then some of you are like, yeah, man, the best thing about 2020 is that it's almost over. And you're really looking forward to a clean slate. Listen, whichever one of those categories you're in, I know a lot of people in all of those places. I don't know anybody who would say that it's been an easy year. I know a lot of people who've done really well. I know some people who have spent months curled up in the fetal position. Whichever end of the spectrum you're on, I literally don't know anybody that looks back on 2020 and goes, yeah, it was a pretty easy year. I just cruised, I just sailed through without much effort or adversity. It's been hard. So what that means is that by definition, you have built up, like, you've had to expend a lot of energy this year, and you've had to do it in a way that, regardless of how well you've done, some toxicity has almost certainly kind of built up in your system in one way or another. And before you can move on, before you can effectively and gracefully move into the new year that's almost upon us, you're going to need to get rid of that crap. Just like when somebody has a barfing experience, it's because some bad stuff has found its way into your system, and before you can recover, before you can move on, you got to get rid of that stuff. So there's some stuff that you're going to need to get rid of before you move into the next thing. And so here's what I would have you focus on for that. You're going to want to purge. And like specifically, I'm not saying that you need to go and, get into the, stick your finger down your throat. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is that you're going to need you're going to want to do a purge of some of your physical spaces and then your head. Let's talk about each one of those briefly. I would really encourage you sometime in these next few days, these next 9 days that we have in the year, you'll have the way that Christmas and New Year's and like the way the holidays fall this year, it actually kind of provides a lot of opportune times to do this. Please make sure that you are taking the opportunity to purge and clean out and organize your physical space. For me, I'm going to focus on a couple of them. There's my car, there's my office that you only see part of. And then it's also going to be my garage in my case. All of those things have accumulated some mess. And there's something wonderful that happens when you take the places that you occupy. And I would tell you, your workspace, your desk, probably your car could really use this. When you devote some time to just getting the crap out and then setting up and organizing so you have a good physical, a physical space that you feel good in is a big deal. So yeah, I'd encourage you to do that same thing. Sometime over the course of the next 9 days, take the opportunity to clean out your closet, right? Go a little Marie Kondo. Like there's some people make fun of the whole life-changing magic of tidying up because, it's, I don't know, it like became like a meme. But listen, you don't sell millions of books like that and have them made into a TV show unless that resonates. Tidy up, and while you're tidying up, get rid of stuff in your workspace, probably your closet, probably your car as well. I promise you'll feel different. And then the other thing that I would really encourage you to purge, I'm definitely going to be doing this, is upstairs. There's a very simple thing that we teach people how to do. And it has a lot of effects, but the process is always the same. Fundamentally, it's to take all of the negative thoughts that have built up along the way, anything that's running around in your head, fear about the future, resentment or guilt about the past, anything that's bugging you, no matter how petty. Do yourself a huge favor. Sometime in the next 9 days, get off by yourself for. It's probably going to take you a few hours to do this properly. So give yourself the time to do it. And get out a pen and a paper. I don't care what kind of pen or paper it is, but make sure it's not typing. Make sure it's a pen and some paper. And all of those yucky things that are in your head, write them out. Don't type them. Don't think them. Write them. Get them out of your head, onto paper, through a pen. I don't really care what you do with the paper when you're done with it. The act of writing out the crap that's in your head, it literally has the same effect as when your stomach disgorges something toxic or poisonous that you ate. You've built up negativity and some toxicity in the thoughts that you've got. And before you can really think clearly about, hey, what do I want to accomplish with the new year? You got to kind of barf out the old year, and you got to do that on paper. So I would really encourage you to take the time to do that. This is stuff that we do with our coaching clients all the time, kind of guide them through this process. So if you'd like a little bit more understanding on how to do this in the way that's most effective for you, obviously, reach out to us. It's what we're here for. So I hope my weird analogy about losing your lunch has been helpful and taught you some things about how you can apply it. This is probably going to be our last Tuesday post for 2020. We'll give you next week off, but we'll be back. We got a great post lined up for you every single week in 2021. So listen, I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. I hope you've had a great year. And if we can be of service to you in making 2021 your best freaking year ever, we want to help you with that. So reach out. Have an awesome week and a wonderful holiday season. You're the best.